Denver Broncos. Let's move on to the Broncos. Win total at 7.5 at Bet365. The over at plus 120. The under at minus 150. Division 12-1. Conference 33-1. Super Bowl 66-1. To make the playoffs, plus 450. We got Fangio coming in as a new coach. Chicago Bears defensive coordinator for the last 4 years. You have Joe Flacco behind center. Not a lot you can do with Flacco except air it out. Can Philip Lindsay duplicate last year's tremendous season? Nice 1-2 punch with Royce Freeman. Sanders has supposedly made steady progress in his recovery from last year's Achilles tear, but that's a tough job for a 32-year-old. Can he combine with Cortland Sutton to be dangerous wide receivers? I don't think so. Bradley Chubb will be even better this year. He's spectacular. Von Miller, a beast. Do these Broncos have enough to get over the 7.5 or possibly make the playoffs, Donnie Rightside?
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. When I look at environments and what you want to bet into and how you structure the future of your team, it's clear to me there's really nothing. And we already talked about the Miami Dolphins. Like, finding a quarterback is what you have to do. The Denver Broncos are sort of in that same boat. You have a really good defense. I like what they did with the secondary, retooling it. They're going to have a really good pass rush. They play in a home field environment in elevation. That's tough to go in there and win. But that's not the objective. Like, this year's Denver Broncos shouldn't be worried about, if we can get to 8 wins or 9 wins or make the playoff with 10 wins. Your only job here is to find your future quarterback at this point, and that's not something I wouldn't put my eggs in. If we take a look even at, going out the season, and let's just say they have a pretty good start to the season. What's the whole point of it here? What, because Joe Flacco can get you to 9-7, and what are you going to do next year when he's a free agent and he wants big money and you still haven't rectified the backup quarterback that you have now who's going to be a young kid who should be your starter? Because if you have a bad start to the season and you're taking a team total, the young kid's coming into quarterback's going to have his growing pains. Now, if you have a good start to the season, and what's a good start for Denver? 4-4. Does John Elway say, oh, man, great, let's make a run at the playoffs with Joe Flacco, and if he does, we'll pay him $35 million a year in the future? That's not what they want to do. So when I take a look at the Denver Broncos this year, I don't want any part of the team total, because what they should be focusing on is the actual future and finding their quarterback. If they're riding it out with Joe Flacco, they're doing it wrong right away at this point. You're looking at the offensive weapons for Joe Flacco. A lot of banged up, a lot of injured. Do we like Cortland Sutton? Yes, we do. But behind that, what is there? Are they going to just hand off to Philip Lindsay and say, ooh, this is really exciting football? There's 2 teams in your division that are so much higher up on the totem pole than you are. Your only job is to find the quarterback this year. I want nothing to do with the Denver Broncos this year, Jimmy.
I hear that. I want nothing to do with them either. Whale Capper, what do you think about these Denver Broncos?
Yeah, I think Donnie nailed that. They have holes on their roster in a lot of the parts where you do not want holes. Most notably quarterback. Joe Flacco might be he's a bottom 3 starting quarterback heading into this season. I guess if you take out the rookies, we really don't know what to expect from them at this point, and you look at just who's going into this season with the starting quarterback and ranking them, I don't think you can convince me that Joe Flacco shouldn't be in the bottom 3. I think is long past his best football, is long way behind him. And the idea that he in some way saves things in Denver is really, really tough sell. Their one strength, their pass rush on defense, meh. If you're playing against a team where the quarterback's getting it out, is getting it out of his hand quickly, you're going to neutralize that. The scheme has kind of caught up to the really, really just one-sided pass rush defenses. I don't necessarily even expect them to, be considered one of the top-tier defenses as we go through this league, go through this year. And so the only thing I really have interest at all in the Broncos is I'll probably be backing them against the spread early in the season at home in Mile High. We've seen this show up year over year. Where teams that travel there are a little gassed, don't necessarily perform to their best, and just kind of the general perception that the Broncos are also Rams and they stink. Maybe you got a little bit of value built into those lines already. So I'll be looking for opportunities to back the Broncos at home against the spread early in the season, and then fascinated to see how Vic Fangio emerges as a head coach. I was not high on that. Not particularly bullish on that hire at all. I don't think he has kind of the makeup and He's not the prototype of who you should be hiring if you're at this stage of the Broncos are at for this season. And, an older guy who's been in the league for a while, who's mostly defensive focused. You want to put that guy in as your defensive coordinator after this doesn't work out in the Broncos. Sounds good to me, but he's not my next head coach if I'm out there, trying to build a team in this year's NFL.
Yeah, I do not like the look of this football team, but I like the angle of backing them at home early and in Mile High.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.